Hey everybody, what's up? It's RezenatorZen here, and you might think I'm a broken record with this video because I have a lot of videos in my backlog talking about video game violence, but I had just thought of a new argument about video game violence. Video game violence does not cause real violence. Right-wing religious fanaticism causes violence. Bullying causes violence. Shitty parenting causes violence. Right-wing fanaticism has actually caused more violence than video games has ever caused. Video game violence does not have any correlation to to violence, to anything remotely in the real world, because does not take place in the real world. Video game violence takes place in a polygonal, made-up world on a system. Now, granted that games have become more and more realistic as time has gone on, but video game violence does not cause violence. Okay? Video game violence does not cause violence. It does not and has never produced any kind of violence. There has not been any study on either side of this argument that it says video game violence doesn't cause it and that video game violence causes violence. It doesn't, okay? Shitty parenting causes violence. Shitty parenting has caused more violence than video games, if there is even a link between video game violence and real violence. But shitty parenting is a leading cause of violence in an adolescent's life, not video games. Because if you have shitty parenting, you're not gonna have good problem-solving skills, and you're just gonna have no interpersonal skills, and you just be this introverted person that when someone says something, you're just gonna fucking snap and explode. Same goes for bullying. Bullying has caused more violence than anything else. Video game violence has not caused any kind of violence. Bullying has caused violence. Because bullying led to a whole host of things, and bullying can lead to a whole host of things. Bullying and the inaction of principals and teachers and faculty at schools can cause violence. Because if someone's getting bullied and they confront the teachers and say, "I'm getting bullied, can you please help me?" Some teachers actually say, "It's a part of life, deal with it." But what if they can't deal with it? What happens if they have poor skills, which is from parenting? Bad parenting combined with bullying causes violence. Religious fanaticism causes more violence. Religious fanaticism causes hate, fear, and death. And on any spectrum of religions, fanaticism causes death and destruction, albeit if it's Islamic fundamentalists, Christian fundamentalists, Jewish fundamentalists. There's people who are out to kill you that are real threats. Video game violence is not one of those threats. And the point I'm making in this video is there are other things that actually do cause violence: pain, suffering, death. Video game violence, there's been no correlation that has been shown that video game violence leads to violence. But there is evidence that religious fanaticism, there's concrete evidence that religious fanaticism causes violence and death. Terrorism is the best example of this. On any spectrum, any kind of terrorist acts are caused by factors that do not include video games. Video games is nowhere on that list of causes of religious fanaticism violence. That is a person taking advantage of people. Video games on themselves in of themselves do not cause video game violence. Maybe combined with other problems, they cause video game violence. But that's the whole reason that they have ratings, so that the proper games get into the proper hands. But parents are so wanting to not exclude anybody from anything that they buy games that are not right for their children. 10-year-olds playing an M-rated game. That is not the fault of the games, the game developers, or the gaming community as a whole. They have no responsibility in the children getting violent games. They have no responsibility in that. They produce the games, the store sells the games, and the parents buy the games. There is a chain of custody in children getting hold of games. It's not because the game is actually made that the kid's going to get into his hands. No. It's not even the developers or the producers. None of them have any say in what happens when a kid gets a game. The parents and the store have the say. And the parents have the final say in whether games are played by children who are not ready for those kinds of games. And that is why the ratings are on the front and back of game boxes. They're on the front and back of that. And nobody can say, oh, it was obscured. Most games, and I'm pretty sure all games, have labeling that is clear, concise, and very well worded, so that way everybody, even a complete dumbass, could understand that these games are not meant for children of a certain age. For mature, it says 17 and up. Then there's the teen, and then that's separated into I think 3 different things for teen. Then there's the everyone, and then there's the children only. And then there's the adult only games. The game industry, the game community should not suffer because of parents' inability to censor what their children do. But again, getting to my main point, video game violence has caused no violence. Certainly no violence as much as religious fanaticism. Anything that has ferventness, like Animal Rights Liberation Front, the ALF, that has caused more violence than video games has ever caused, if it has caused any kind of violence. That's my point. Fanaticism has done more damage than video games to children. That's my point. The store should focus more on who's buying the games and for who. And the parents should know the rating system better so that they can make better choices. Then the game industry could make AO games for the adults of said children to use and play. But until then, we're going to be assaulted by stupid people who are saying video game violence causes real violence and they can go suck a dick. Because they're complete and utter imbeciles. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're idiots. So, yeah. That's my video on video game violence. What's up? How y'all doing? And peace out.